and gentlemen, welcome back to Daytona, Florida for race 2 of tonight. It's the Formula Renault Sprint Series presented by S.R.O.C Racing. It's gonna be a blast. We will have Tigelaar up front, followed by Hamid Littles. It's the Yellow Brigade, followed by Tigelaar and Van Eekhoven, excuse me, in P3 and 4. And it's a false start by Vanega. Vanega with a black flag will have to enter the pit for the penalty. The drivers are already gone. They're up in turn 1 right now. 4 wide going through turn 1. Davis Tigelaar with a bold move there. And everyone looks to have gone through safely. It's Tigelaar this time with a good start as well, and it's Van Eekhoven trying to get around Hamid Littles. The bird also good and off to a well placed start. Kenzie Nuoff in the back has made up already 4 places. Strong. And oh, it's a little bit of a slip out. Tigelaar runs wide. This time it isn't as catastrophic as the previous race. Well, Sonima tries to pull up beside him on the outside. Has succeeded. Will come deal before Tigelaar. Someone has to watch out. Needs to break away a little bit there. And Nuoff making it 3 wide with Tigelaar in the middle and Sorvinen on the outside. Very nice action shot here by the 3 drivers. Excellent. Very well done there. Sonima following Vanega onto the track. And they're all very close to each other. Hamid Littles trying to keep Dane Bird off of his back. Dane Bird trying around the outside. 400 of a second there, wheel by wheel there. Was a little bit of contact. I see Frederick coming off from the outside. Or is that Nuoff? It's Nuoff. Just past Sonima. Frederick just behind them. Followed on his turn by Nicky Decker in the green. Now we see Tigelaar and Vanega going into the pits. Sonima has a slowdown penalty as well, so there's a lot of penalties going into lap 1, or at least lap 2 I should say. And Dane Bird still keeping up. Oh, and it's a very late braking action by Hamid Littles. Van Eekhoven saw it on time, prevented the dive bomb and damage there. Dane Bird moves up in P2 as well. And let's see who gets to P3 first. Or to turn 3 first, I should say. Van Eekhoven tries the wider line. Will undoubtedly be a little bit more careful while Dominic Ogendijk goes wide. And Nuoff on the outside onto the oval. Frederick on the inside, probably trying to take advantage there. 3 still close to each other. Dane Bird with the move on the outside just before the bust up chicane. And there we go. Hamid Littles still fighting off Van Eekhoven early on the brakes, not to hit Dane Bird there. And right behind them are Swobinen, Dominic Ogendijk, Kenzie Nuoff, Simon Frederick, and Nicky Decker. It's a nice pack of 5. And if they work together, they can get closer to the lead group. You see Ogendijk wants to go on his own accord there. Swobinen still on the apron. It's going to be tight there, 3 wide. Wedge formation going into turn 1. And it's Nuoff. Seems so no. Nuoff with a little mistake, hits a little bump there. Gets passed by everyone. Simon Frederick with a good jump off of turn 1. Oh, and it's a late braking action by Ogendijk. That's unfortunate for Frederick, who has had some considerable damage here. Can't see him anymore on my screen. Yes, he's lost speed, he's lost momentum, he's lost it all. That's probably the end of the race for him with a hit like that. And Nuoff right behind Ogendijk. Like jumping to the side, letting Nicky Decker aside as well. Well, the lead here is fighting for it as well. Emilio's this time in third place. Dane has taken over the lead. Van Aken in second. And Van Aken will try to get that lead position. Needs to break away from the guys chasing him down. They're all staying on the apron here. Spectacular start here of the first few laps here in the second race. It's just 13 laps, so it's gonna be a tight one. Nicky Decker and Nuaf getting through the bus stop chicane together, and Solima is getting closer to the pack in front of him. Dominic Hogendyke probably will have had some damage as well somewhere. Dane Bird getting closer, gets on the over first, will try to make a move for P1, and will have a few more meters to make. And Emilio is getting very close there, tries to stick it up into the inside, but Van Aken is early break. Ooh, Dane Bird's off a little bit wide there in turn 1. It's very exciting here to see the guys go. Again, Littles with a move in turn 1 here. Quite risky, but pays off. Van Aken very alert, trying not to get hit there by anyone. And Lucas Hogendyke is getting very close to the first 3. All this battling is costing him precious time. Bird trying a move on the outside, coming up just in front of the oval. Littles with a little bit of oversteer. Dane Bird makes it to P2. Lucas Hogendyke now in P4, right behind him, Littles. Let's see if we can see a move here by Hogendyke in the bus stop. Has the inside. That's a quick pass there by Lucas Hogendyke for third position. Is on the podium already. We've seen him in race 1, and we see someone cutting off the chicane. I believe it's Nuaf. Yes, that's probably going to be a slowdown penalty. And a big one. Dane Bird has quite the job cut out for him now. Needs to get away from Lucas Hogendyke, which will be more easier said than done. And Nuaf blocking a little bit there. And it's a very late break there by Dominic Hogendyke. That's a hard hit. Dominic Hogendyke gets him over off. Solima regains 2 places with that very strange move. There's probably gonna be stories after that hit. Unmistakably, that's gonna be a penalty. But that would all be researched after the race, if there will be penalty claims made, of course. Nuaf has regained his race, is right behind right behind Solima, who we have on screen. Now off to Littles and Barrett again. Third and fourth. Littles, his race was cut short in race 1 after that incident with Damon Stigelaar. And meet Littles pumping the brakes there a little bit in the bus stop, a little bit more than Dane Bird. Doesn't want to risk any collisions. And Frelick, ever since that hit on the inside from Dominic Hogendyke, hasn't been able to keep up the pace. Is struggling to keep up with Stigelaar as we speak. 2 of them driving respectively 8 and 9. Prodiga is a little bit more unlucky this race than the last. Is in P12 right now. And after 5 laps, we're in lap 6 right now. It's a little bit more spread out. Here we can see the extensive damages on Frelix's front wing. He will lose a lot of points again in this race. Hasn't had any lucky breaks at all this season. He's been involved in a lot of crashes and spins. I believe before Daytona he had spun out in every race of the Formula Renault Sprint Series. And we can see Demi Stigelaar is not far behind these two. Stigelaar is probably going to make the jump towards Frelick easily. Not because Frelick is giving up, but his damage won't allow to keep up with the rest of the drivers. And here we can see it, Demi Stigelaar already in for P9. Working himself up into the points. And here we have a view of the start finish line. Stigelaar can start to worry now, since Demi Stigelaar is right behind him. Here comes the first of the moves from Demi Stigelaar. Late braking in turn 2. Has positioned himself already behind Stigelaar for the kink. Stigelaar defends. Is allowed to defend his position, of course. But here comes Demi Stigelaar on the inside. Some conservative driving there by Stigelaar. It's not to worry. Stigelaar, I just think, of course, after retiring the first race, he wants to hold on to these points for dear life, which is understandable, of course. And meanwhile, Nuaf in pursuit of P6 hasn't been as strong as in race 1. Might have been due to the hit earlier. It was an extensive one. I don't see any damages to his car, which is rather strange after a hit like that. Ah, there it is. His engine cover has been taken off, but his rear wing is intact. At least that's what the graphic says. And here we are on board with Kenzie Nuaf, the leader in the general standings. And Prodiga is approaching Simon Frederick. Simon Frederick is in big difficulty here on Daytona. Has suffered an early hit in the race and doesn't seem able to continue on his regular pace here that he has shown before. For example, in race 1. Very well done here by Conor Prodiga. Moving up a place around the outside on the oval of Daytona International Speedway. It's a road course on iRacing service here. And we see a little switchback here between Frederick and Prodiga. While Solima and Nuaf are in battle for P6 at the moment. Solima trying his best to keep Nuaf behind him, but has been struggling the last few laps. We have seen a few lockups by Solima while we were following Kenzie Nuaf. Solima trying to stay on the inside as much as possible. Wants to let Nuaf make extra meters on the apron. Which is totally understandable. We have Amit Littles, who's gone into the pits, has given up on a few places by doing so, because Solima Nuaf will move up as well. And it's very close here between the two. Ooh, a little bit of oversteer again, and Nuaf thanks Solima for that and has moved up for P5. Very well done. Driving alertly. Nuaf, that is. Trying to take as much points as possible. And the Meat Littles has fallen back right behind Damon Stiglaar. The two of them driving around in P7 and 8. It's going to be an interesting battle. We can see Daytona locking his front right wheel there. And let's see if he can gain his momentum after his remarkable pit stop. There wasn't really any need for one, since there is no fuel limit placed on the car here on Daytona International Speedway. Round 6 is all about endurance and speed. No brakes. But Damon Stiglaar seems like he's getting the best of the Littles, at least here on the oval. And while we fall back, we see Frederick trying getting up to all of Daytona International Speedway, and that will probably mark the end of his race. And Prodiga moves up to P11 with that peculiar move there. We see Solima trying another move there on Nuaf on the outside of the oval. Will he make it going to 1? Probably not. Let's see who drives around each other. It's Nuaf with great composure there, but Solima makes a move down the outside of the Nuaf trying to come back there on the outside of turn 2. And Solima getting that patch of grass there. Nuaf still not giving up. They're side by side still. See if Solima can make another move here. And we will shoot. This time Kenzie Nuaf closes the gap off. But they both now have the oval in front of them. They'll climb it up right now here. Let's see if Solima can get a little bit closer again. Well, Nicky Decker goes in for P3 with Bird in the bus stop chicane. Here they are. approaching the right rear wheel of the invert. This is all for the last podium. It's gonna be tight. Let's see who will have the better of turn one. The invert on the inside, the turquoise car. Nicky Decker in the black and green car. And Sullivan Lewis almost hitting each other there. So we're missing a point there. And Nicky Decker following the invert very closely, trying to squeeze every little bit of slipstream out of that Renault. Invert with a lockup has the inside line, and the left-hander coming up to the oval. Nicky Decker seems to have a great runoff. He's would be on the oval earlier, but knows he can't make a move. And these two with a great drive here. The invert making it difficult on Nicky Decker. Bust up chicane. The invert still keeps it in front of Nicky Decker. Awesome epilogue here of this race. Let's see who will conquer that last podium place here of this race. Eekhoven, in the meanwhile, has started his last lap. These two will do so briefly. Schoenen is in second, 3 seconds behind Van Eekhoven. And this is how these guys get through turn one. Nicky Decker tries a wider approach, wants a better exit speed coming out of it, but then finds the invert planted in front of him with nowhere to go. The invert locking up again. It's going very exciting into the last corners. Van Eekhoven is already on the oval. The invert again locking up, using the rear end of his car a little bit. And Nicky Decker is pushing it. Wants that podium place badly. But Van Eekhoven has only the bust up chicane to contend with. These two will have a full finish later, that's for sure. Meanwhile, we want to know who's coming out the best of this battle right here. Nicky Decker this time with a move on the outside. On the bus stop chicane. Won't make a difference, still in front of him. Van Eekhoven meanwhile wins race 2 here at Daytona International Speedway. Well done, Van Eekhoven. Congratulations. Lucas will be in second. Congratulations to him. That's it for those two for race 2. Very well done. While Nicky Decker makes a last move, a last attempt here onto the oval, on the outside, won't make it P, or maybe he does, comes back onto the apron, P3 goes to Datenberg with Nicky Decker right behind him for Kenzie Noaf and Sonima will come in 4th and 5th, and right behind him are Tigelaar Littles at Tigelaar as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are following at Tigelaar here, coming out of the bus stop chicane. He has 2 seconds behind Jonas Gilles and Goran Proliga 2 seconds behind that. These are the last 3 drivers to finish here today in 9th, 10th and 11th. Felix in the pits with too much damage suffered. He will score points though based on the laps he has finished. We will thank you for watching here again in race 2 of Daytona. Round 7 will be in Imola, and we will see you there. Bye bye and thank you for watching. Ciao.